Okay, Game 5 of the Phoenix Suns Los Angeles Clippers is on the wrap. I wasted a vacation leave because I thought the Phoenix Suns are going to win Game 5 and close it out. But I'm gonna give kudos to Paul George over here on the thumbnail. He did good on this game. Let me just open the box score. Shall we? Okay. Okay, Clippers. Paul George got a double double, 13 rebounds, 41 points, 41 minutes. He was cold, I guess. He hasn't found his stroke in the first half, but when he saw Phoenix was chasing the lead and Phoenix took the lead late in the third, Paul George just erupted. And he had that spurt on the second half. Also, we saw the birth, the reincarnation of Marcus Morris. That's cool. And we got some DeMarcus Cousin actions, 15 points. Of course, Reggie Jackson was brilliant, 23 points. There were hustle plays by Patrick Beverly, including a flagrant foul against Chris Paul. But that didn't affect his psyche. Good. And one thing to note that Zubats is out. So give credit where credit is due. They're undermanned by three people: Ibaka, Kawhi, and Zubats. Managed to pull through with a win, 14-point lead on the road. So let's see the stats on the Suns. DeAndre Ayton was a bit quiet tonight. I think it's because Tyler made an adjustment that he goes small when Ayton is present and he goes big when they take Ayton out. If you see the rotation, he countered the Clippers small. The Suns countered the Clippers small ball by inserting the big men. And you know it's small ball. It's Saric is your center. And in the end, about the second half, Tyron Monty Williams played Torrey Craig, who kind of did some good defensive plays. I'm gonna give him that, as well as Nader. But the story here is Devin Booker and Chris Paul still hasn't found their stroke yet. That's the third game they haven't found their stroke yet. Okay, Booker did very well here, but he's not the explosive Devin Booker. He should step up more if we're gonna see him being soft, while Paul George is stepping up with his efficient with his efficiency in the second half. I mean, he did do that 3-point buzzer beater that helped the momentum swing a bit in the third quarter, but yeah, Paul George became a killer here. He went on to become Pandemic P, but no Paul George slander here. Paul George did what he did best. So I think the key benefactor here is Ayton being cold. So what they did was it's a 3v1 situation with Ayton. There are two small men and one big man guarding Ayton when on the glass. The two little men box out Ayton while the big man grabs the rebound. And if Ayton gets the rebound, they triple team him. He can't pass the ball and he can't put in the ball. He can't make the shot. That's what I meant. So what does this lead? I think maybe the Suns need to better work on their offense. Now they're on a hostile area with inside Staples Center on Game 6. I am confident to say this will go to 7 games. And this, I may no disrespect to Chris Paul here, but I think one of his jinxes is kicking in. I think the Clippers can Hopefully not because I'm rooting for the Suns, but they can steal it. They've proven it. Home floor. They've beaten the Suns by 16 points, and they can steal one. And if they can persevere the home court advantage on Game 6, we might see the Suns blew a 3-1 lead. So, key adjustments. I think Aiton needs to be more agile. I think he got a little bit cocky after his game 4 performance. He got cocky pre-game when he shot that half court shot, that pre-game thing. He went. He was so quiet. I never seen him do any activity. Then look at this: offensive rebounds. 7 offensive rebounds on the Sun, 2 offensive rebounds on the Clippers, but the defensive rebounds are pretty close. The Suns beat the Clippers by rebound by 1. That's how close it is. But the defensive rebound of the Clippers is much higher compared to the Suns. Assists, of course, the Suns do that. Turnovers, the Suns got 14 turnovers, especially on the first quarter. They did not start the game right in the first quarter. They got sloppy. They need to wake up. They were in their own arena. I expected a huge explosion by the Phoenix Suns, but the Clippers had that explosion instead. Look at this. Points in the paint. Look at how the Clippers thrive on points in the paint. 58 against the Suns 32. Why? Because DeAndre Ayton was quiet in this game. How can they have higher points in the paint if Zubac is out? Simple. DeAndre Ayton doesn't have a good game right now. This wasn't his strongest performance. This was one of his weakest performance. And that costed the Suns. I mean, Devin Booker was doing good, but still, he hasn't found his stroke yet. I've seen him do bad passes while he was instigated as a playmaker. And I think also Cameron Payne's ankle is a bit tweaking. Safe to say, it's still a bit sus. He only had 5 points this evening, or this morning. So now, that would be my take. I think the title will be Paul George re-emerge or something. Marcus Morris. I don't know if Marcus Morris is kind of consistent, but if he plays like that in Game 6, we will see a Game 7. Mark my word. Maybe the title is Could the Suns Blow a 3-1 series lead? Just for clickbait. Yeah. Well, that's me talking about Game 5, Suns Clippers. Thank you for watching. Oh, wait. The Bucks and Hawks series, I think that's a wrap. Trae Young is suspected to not play Game 4, so I can say the Bucks had that series. They can throw. That's a wrap. So I may not do any videos on that. So yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye.